Hi guys, it's Kyle, and today we're working on part 2 of the Centurion mask from the game For Honor. We're working on the riveted detail section on the top brim of the helmet, and I am using 3D paint to get these small riveted detail pieces. They're smaller than the smallest googly eye that you could probably find, so I went with using this 3D fabric paint. A better brand that might be easier for you guys to find is called Puff Paint. I did not have that available at any stores near me, so I tried out this 3D fabric paint, and after giving it a shot, it worked out well. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a row of larger dots around the top of the middle section, and then we're going to do it like the 5 on the 6-sided die with the 5 dots. So we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way across until you have something like this. So you have the middle row having larger dots and then the top and bottom having smaller. There's also this continuation of these dots or faux rivets or raised circle areas on the outer cheek of the faceplate, so we're just following the outer trim of it, and then the same is done for obviously the other side of the cheek, and then for the back part of the helmet where it flares out, you're going to do the same, and it just follows the outside of the detail trim line that we had done. This paint will dry and be somewhat hard, but it will also recede a little bit, if that makes sense. So it might seem large at first, but then it will dry and decrease in size slightly. So if you guys want to do some practice first, make sure you do it on a test piece, just a piece of paper or something. That way it doesn't ruin your actual final product of the helmet until you get a satisfied result. It's going to take a couple hours for it to dry fully, and you want to make sure it's dried fully before you do any of the sealing or painting, or else it's going to cause that detail to be lost because it causes the paint to smear. Once we've done that, I added this button with a marble hot glue to it, and then that's just hot glue to the top, and that top piece looks kind of like an upside down acorn. Best way to describe the shape. So to get that point on the top, I just added a bit of the puff paint and tried to twirl it around to get that pointed shape. Afterwards, I coated the entire helmet in 2 to 3 coats of black paint mixed with Modge Podge. The reason I do the black paint is so it helps the metallic paint stand out. And then what I'm doing now is a very uneven base coat of gold mixed with brown paint, since that seems to be the tradition of the type of the metal that was used during like the Roman age and such. So to achieve that look, I gave the base coat of gold mixed with brown slightly, and then I'm doing a dry brushing of lighter silver. So like I use some silver obviously mixed with some black paints, and I'm just dry brushing this on to get an inconsistent look, so you get a bit of the gold or the warmth of that coming through underneath. Both paints dry, or both coats of paint, I'm doing a brown and black wash mixed with obviously with water to get a very watery consistency, and I'm applying this across the entire helmet, but I'm working in sections. That way I'm able to control the outcome of that I'm trying to achieve. So I smeared across the entire helmet, and then I used a dry paper towel or a rag to dab off the majority of this paint. The reason I am doing that is so it's left in the recesses. It looks like it's added some ageness to it, and it adds a bit of inconsistency to the metal, since based off the reference images that I saw from the in-game, that there was inconsistencies in it not being a consistent color of metal finish. So this is the process I went with achieving that look. Once finishing our black wash, I am going over these strap sections that are supposed to look like fake leather, so I'm giving them a dark brown base coat, and then I'm going over with some slightly different browns after that have dried. We're trying to emulate it to look like it's been faux leather, so there are the 5 straps on the back that we have to paint, and then obviously the 2 on the front that are by the front cheek plates. And then once we've done that, we're going to use a silver to highlight the buckle portion of those straps on the back. That way it matches with the look we are trying to achieve. And once both the brown and the silver have fully dried, I'm doing another black wash or adding some weathering to it. That way it seems consistent with the rest of the helmet, since the rest of the helmet has been weathered itself. Now for the second last part that we're doing in this helmet build for the painting portion is I am adding some dry brushed, and I'm just using a silver, the same silver that I actually used to highlight the buckles on the back of the helmet, and I am applying this across the entire helmet, not just the raised edges or focusing solely on that section. I am being very careful to make sure that my paint is throughout my entire brush and not clumped in one section, since I am being very aggressive of how I'm applying it. I'm not being so careful, and the reason I'm doing this, as I've mentioned, is to add some highlighting throughout the entire helmet and not just on the edges, and I'll touch back at the very end of the video. Once finishing all that painting, we're going to coat the entire helmet in a gloss clear coat to help protect all the painting and weathering that we have done. And here we have the final outcome of that helmet. If I do an updated portion of the face mask, I'll be sure to include that and make that part 3 within this video, and obviously leave it linked to be done in the future. Once again, templates are linked in the description for they're on a PDF format for a letter printer paper settings. My head circumference is 23 inches, as well as a head height of about 8 to 9 inches. So if that's about giving you an idea for the size that this helmet is to fit, obviously there might be a little bit of wiggle room for that. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for new videos almost every week. I do my best to get them out and respond as quickly as possible. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you comment and say what you would want to see done in future builds. I will be covering the For Honor Lawbringer shoulders, since people have been having difficulties with them. Anyways, this has been Kyle from Regrettable Props, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.